Now, this might be surprising that we're actually here on this page looking at Blue Goku, but this video is going to be something I'm doing. This is original, completely original. I just had the idea to do this, but when character information drops, I am probably going to start doing these analysis videos for units, right? So I probably can do one for Yamcha, depending on how well this video is received. I'll do a Yamcha video. I mean, Yamcha still has a couple of days before his EZA drops. We are going to, of course, we're going to look over Tien again. We're going to look at his kit, read his kit and all that stuff. But I want to put him against, hypotheticals against these fights. And by the end of this video, it's going to be very easy if he's worth the summon or not. That is the general basis of these videos from this point forward. Tien is just the first character I'm happening to do this with. So right now there are a couple of difficult fights in the game. This is the most important thing, right? This is why you summon for characters in the first place. So, matching them against the most toughest, most funnest, most difficult content is, the real purpose of even receiving new units, right? How good are they? Can they even measure up? Right? And the first guy on the list just happens to be Blue Goku, right? If you don't remember what Tien does, don't worry, just go to my channel. There are videos talking about what he does, right? I already made a video, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, going over his kit. We will go over his kit again in this video. But I think the first character to put him against is Goku. And, I mean, this Goku, we all know him for having a lot of HP. He's supering twice a turn. This guy's very annoying, but he does have things, right? You can debuff this guy offensively. Not only that, but with the recent release of Tao, we're going to also talk about characters he works well with. This is going to be a very in-depth video. But just before we even get into that, just Tao being what he is to the team, and now we're getting Tien and we're getting the EZA for Yamcha, and it's going to be very easy for these guys to look good. Now, Yamcha, we're going to talk about him in a video, and we're going to have to compare him to Blue Goku. This is not his video. But, Tien is going to be a perfect suit for this fight. First of all, he's going to have the huge amount of damage reduction for the first turn. Then, after the first turn, remember, he's still going to get an extra 25% damage reduction from getting, being in slot 2. And then you could just put him in slot 1 again, and he's still going to have a high-ass amount of damage reduction. He's going to have tons of attacks, tons of offenses. Now, does he debuff? Let's check that out. So, on his 12 key, he lowers attack and defense, which is a plus. And on his 18 key, he lowers attack and defense. So, it's safe to say he's going to be an excellent fucking run on the... You know what? I might as well take this opportunity to go over the unit just to get a refresher before I go any more in depth into this video. But he's going to be very good against Blue Goku. Here you go. Here's the quick refresher. Feel free to read his kit. Not going to take too long on this thing, but general consistency is you see the high base stat 75% damage reduction right there. He also gets, after receiving an attack as the first attacker in turn, he gets more damage reduction for 3 turns. So keep that in mind, right? But that's not it, right? You see all the stats everywhere. He gets 400 defense in slot 1, extra defense, right? He already starts with 250%. He's supporting all allies for 2 turns. So every time he's on rotation, he's just going to give everybody a defense of, but I mean, why not, right? Just for 2 turns. Nobody's talking about that, but that's pretty insane, right? And key +3, attack 100%, defense 200%, and damage reduction rate 20% for 3 turns. Like I said, that's huge, right? So the starting turn, you're going to have this already, right? And then you proc this, you're going to have even more damage reduction. So you're pretty much going to have 95% damage reduction for that first turn, right? And then from now on, you probably want to put this guy in slot 2. And the reason is very simple. That's where he gets his great chance of evading enemies' attack. In slot 1, he's still going to have the high defense. Of course, he's still going to have the extra defenses right here as well. He's still going to keep this base 20% damage reduction. But that 75% damage reduction is only for 1 turn. So do keep that in mind, right? He does have a nullification against Ki Blast Supers, which is really cool. It's a base high chance, which I don't really like, but against a Kamehameha category enemy, at least it's 100%. But I really don't like that it's only 50%. But hey, He still has one. So it counts for something. I guess if you wanted to look at like glaring weaknesses in this guy's kit, is that if you don't really get the ball rolling with this guy, and what I mean by that is after turn 1, if you're not in a situation to where he's going to be comfortable in slot 2 and 3 for the rest of the fight, it's not going to be good. So you would probably want General Tao with him. Like I said, running him with General Tao will be smart because General Tao is going to be a better defensive unit in slot 1 after his initial turn, right? You could just put this guy in slot 2. He's going to be able to dodge. But here's the thing against the Blue Goku event. This guy's going to be debuffing, right? And he's going to have major defenses, and he's going to be able to super first, right? Now, his nullification is not going to really work in the Blue Goku fight. Let's just go back to the... Yeah, see, he's a melee super. So against Blue Goku, that is going to be something we have to worry about. Now, we're going to see the performance in the Blue Goku fight with Tien, but I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much a breeze because the initial start of turn, he's going to be safe. He's going to be safe that second turn as well. And then he's going to be stacking attack, his offenses, and he's going to be able to get his defenses where it needs to be. Now, you're not going to really be able to bank or bet on the dodge. I don't know. He might. We'll see. Would I give him a plus? We'll see. I actually, this one is up for debate. This is interesting. The very first video, this is up for debate, but I would give Tien the point. I don't see us struggling with Blue Goku, especially because he's going to be debuffing, right? Which is going to be huge. Tao debuffs and then Tien debuffs. There's no way Blue Goku is going to penetrate Tien, even if, you know, he only has the 20% damage reduction. He's still going to have the defenses. He's still going to get the defenses from his super. And yeah, I guess there's one issue before I move on to the next fight that I have with Tien, and that's the fact that he doesn't have additionals in his kit. So what's the next fight I really want to talk about? I guess we could talk about Festival of Battles because people love that event for some reason. All right, we're here at the big guns. I scrolled all the way down for the baiters and ragers. If you actually take this into consideration, bro, rest in peace. Go touch grass, bro. I'm sorry. Dude, you need to go to the gym. Dude, let this be motivation. This is your calling. Please do something with your life if you take this event seriously. But I have to talk about it because people love it. Honestly, I hate Festival of Battles, not because it's a difficult event. I can complete it. I mean, there's units that we have. It's the fact that it's 3 fucking hours long, right? I mean, I just don't have the patience to take this event seriously, right? But is Tien going to be a good unit in this fight? He's going to be able to work. You're definitely going to be able to bring him in here and win with him. But he's not going to be some leading performer. He's not going to be that Titanic horse. No, I would not. I'm not giving him a point in Festival of Battles. But to be real and to be genuine, I don't give a fuck about Festival of Battles anyways. So to be honest, in my opinion, this doesn't change the fact that Tien is probably coming out with the strongest contention for just being a top 5 LR since Anniversary, right? Tien, he's looking very promising. But yeah, let's go to the next fight, which I would say is probably not Blue Vegeta, which is also a stage 10 fight. But that fight's really, it's not fodder. It can get difficult in the end, but it's not challenging enough. It doesn't meet the criteria, my criteria. Blue Vegeta, it just doesn't. He doesn't do it for me. I guess we'll go into the Jiren fights and see how Tien would stack up there. Okay, first things first, before I even get into this segment, this is probably going to be the people's favorite segment of the video. It's probably going to be my favorite segment of the video as well. But going against these Jiren opponents is definitely going to be something, you know, people are going to enjoy, because there's a special feeling going up against the Jiren fights that I just don't receive from the Blue Goku fight. And I think it's because it holds the traditional, okay, go through each fight, right? It's like, all right, you go through this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, right? And, you know, Blue Goku just doesn't captivate me this way. I think this is probably going to be my favorite. Like, these 2 Jiren fights are probably my favorite fights in the game right now. And probably just what I'm used to. It just hits home because it's like, this is how events should be, right? Not Blue Goku just having 1.5 billion HP at the start. Like, that's ridiculous, right? And Festival of Battles is just a little, you know, too much. 3 hours in, turn 98. Like, no, just not it. This is the perfect fight. Like, a good 15 to 20 turns, right? But Universal Survival Saga, let's see what Tien does and can get done here. Magetta, of course, is not going to be anything simple, but I am going to tell you right now, Tien is probably going to do a lot better in the fights that are shorter. Like the shorter content is going to be his bread and butter, because he's just going to eat so good off, like, the hard hitting battle for formidable foe. Like, let's just take that into consideration, right? Battle hardened formidable foes, Tien is going to dominate. Super Battle Road, Tien's gonna dominate. Extreme Super Battle Road, Tien's gonna dominate, right? Events like that that's predicated towards, all right, they're pretty squishy. You just really have to have strong defenses immediately. Tien's gonna rock, right? But in a fight like this, we're not gonna really be able to take advantage of his huge damage reduction immediately, even though it's not necessary, because remember, he still has 50% damage reduction in slot 2, right? Or in slot 1. It just has to be, he has to receive an attack, right? He's still going to at least have 50% damage reduction, which we all have to take into account, right? So it's not like he's just completely fodder once the turn 175% damage reduction is gone. But he's going to be fine against Magetta. He is going to be STR against Rebrienne, so we don't have any problems here. Rebrienne, she doesn't do anything crazy. She does have AoEs and stuff like that. Magetta does have like a unique... What is it? He does have something unique. Maybe it's the other fight. Now, Catapestra, I remember specifically, yeah. He gets an extra 300% attack for the first turn. So his super can hit pretty hard, considering it's only 840,000 right here. It goes up, right? For only that one first turn, though, you go against him. But then he's fodder, right? You don't really have to worry about this guy. But then there's a huge jump when you get to Topo and Jiren. Now... Tien, thank God, he's STR. Remember, he's extreme as well. Tien is actually an extreme unit, which is very interesting. But yeah, he was sort of a villain in the World Tournament, so I guess it makes sense, right? But he should be fine here. He's gonna have 50% damage reduction. He's gonna have a 70% chance to dodge. He's still gonna be given the team support. He's still gonna be raising attack. Now, yeah, he's greatly raising his stacking attack on his 18 key, by the way. So this is a fight where, if you're thinking about his offense, it's going to be huge. But the one downside of Tien is that he doesn't have additionals in his kit. So it's going to be the generic hard-hitting super. I guess I didn't really talk about his active skill as well, but Tien does have that as well. Now, yeah, this guy has a melee super attack, so he can't nullify this guy. Yet he can do the counter with Catapestra, which we're probably going to try and get in Fish 4 when we, get him. This is going to be good information to know once I do the showcase video. This is why you need to subscribe, because I'm going to be the one feeding you for generations, man. Bro, I've dropped like 17 videos this past week, and I'm not even fatigued. Plus Legends content. Oh my God. This next week is about to be crazy. Probably like 30 plus videos. I'm not going to lie. And I'm implementing this new series, and oh God, this is going to be crazy. But, all right, so we have Jiren as well. Now, Jiren is different, all right? We can't dodge this guy. So, Tien, he's not going to have that weight. He's definitely going to have the damage reduction still. Defensively, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle 5 million with just 50% damage reduction. Remember, he's got defenses. He's not going to be type effective. This is something I'm going to be very interested in seeing. This is 50% damage reduction. If he has like hovering around 2.5 to 3 million defenses, he'll be okay. For sure, Tien. But I have actually got to see him in game. And I'm sorry, I don't do private server videos. I don't like look at the units before they drop. So I'm actually somebody who's not going to know until he drops. But the game is more funner to me that way, so that's how I'm going to keep it. But I'm sorry for all like the people who watch like other content creators, and you're probably going to know how he looks before he drops. I don't spoil myself, right? I wait till everyone can use the units to play, right? But I think I would give Tien the benefit of the doubt. I definitely don't think he's going to be a problem in this event, right? There's characters who are going to be a drag, But Tien, he's just going to be still useful because he's going to have the defensive support. He's still going to have the damage reduction. He's still going to hit hard. We can't debuff this guy. So do keep that in mind. We can't debuff this guy. You can debuff some of these guys, but most of these guys you can't debuff as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to the other Jiren fight, which I actually think he might even do a little bit worse in. And that's only because the final phase is type disadvantage and you still can't dodge Jiren, right? Now, here's the one thing, though. I think the other Jiren doesn't have a melee super. I think he actually has a range super. What do they call it? I guess a range super? Yeah, let's go to the other Jiren. All right, now we have this Jiren stage. And it is going to be questionable if he's going to perform a bit better here or not. But this is what I mean by I love the Jiren fights because it's the traditional step-by-step process where we get to experience different fights, right? We get to experience different mechanics and different things, right? And this is what I'm more looking forward to. If there's any videos I would love to succeed on my channels, it's the fights that I go against Jiren, the Jiren fights, because those are the fights I love the most and I'm having the most fun playing when I do these videos. So if you don't want to watch any of the videos, just check out the videos where I drop the Jiren fights because that's where I'm having hella fun running these units right now. But okay, Tien against Bergamo, yeah, Bergamo is going to be fine. He's type effective against Kale. She doesn't have anything significant. You do have to watch out for Kale a little bit, but she's nothing. She's not a serious threat. Now, Kefla, tongue twister, but yeah, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes miss damage 30%. She's hitting for 2.2 mil. Let's see what Tien's defense is going to be. He's going to be type neutral against this girl. What other effects does she have? She just randomly changes all key spheres 100% of the time. Okay. Tien, he's not going to have a problem against this girl. Now, Jiren, 1.4 million attack, a 4 million super, 100% seal. Oh my God, I forgot how much of a demon this guy is. This guy locks as well. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy. Oh my God, oh my God. No. Tien is cooked. Bro, no. You know what? I forgot. The reason why I wasn't concerned about the locking with Topo is because he's going to be STR, right? So even and he's still going to have the dodge, right, against Topo, right? This Jiren, he just cancels that shit. You can still dodge, but locking, imagine Tien being in slot 1. Like, that's a scary sight. This guy 100% seals. He 100% super attacks in slot 1 as well. Doesn't this guy have AoEs? Bro, this guy just has everything. Bro, this guy reduces damage below a certain amount to 0. What? This is what I mean by these are the funnest fights in the game. Like, this guy, he's not even the final boss, right? This is why I'm, like, crediting the Jiren fights. Like, this is what we need to go against, right? This is it. This is what characters need to go up against, right? Shit like this. It's like, oh yeah, we're in for a doozy, right? Even the strongest of characters are gonna have a tough time with this, right? But Tien, and you only have to really worry about Tien in slot 1 because you can still dodge. If you get the super and you're still in slot 2, he's gonna have the damage reduction. He's still gonna be stacking his offenses throughout the fight. What is this? What is his super attack? He's a melee super attack as well. Let's look at so Kefla, he'll be able to nullify or do like his little counter. And okay, it's just Kefla. What about Jiren? Full power Jiren. And full power Jiren is a other. Yeah, this is other. Maybe is this Ki Blast? I don't know. Maybe he can. No, this is other too. This isn't even melee. What the hell? I guess it's sort of both. It's like a combination. It is what it is, right? But I do think the hardest contenders are going to actually be the Jiren fights, and this is stage 9, right? Blue Goku, I think he's not going to give us as much of a problem as the Jiren fights are. I think Tien might look a little bit more explosive offensively in the Jiren fights, but yeah, honestly, this first video, I'm not going to do battle hardened formidable foes But if you guys want me to do, like, go over the battle hardened formidable foes tough events, which I'd say is probably like 8, 9, and 10. Those are like the real difficult ones in the future when I make these videos. Just let me know if you want me to cover battle hardened formidable foes. But Tien, he's gonna absolutely wash battle hardened formidable foes. You guys gotta trust me, bro. He's gonna absolutely destroy that content. I might even make content. I might even just drop videos on it, to be honest. But it seems as if Tien, he's definitely gonna be someone that's respectable, right? Do I think you have to summon on him? No. And the reason why I'm saying that is because obviously there's a huge celebration on the way. But if I said he's a bad character, no. He's definitely a character that if you have a wealth of stones, let's say you have around 750 stones, you could chuck 150 stones at this guy. And even if you don't get him, it wouldn't really be a waste, right? Because giving yourself a chance to have a powerful Earthling unit, you know they're gonna barrage these with missions, right? Like, that's one thing you have to consider. Not only the fights, but they're gonna drop missions. And, you know, it's gonna be hard, right? Earthlings, they're gonna drop Earthling. They're gonna expect you to have Tao. They're gonna expect you to have this Tien. They're gonna expect you to try and, you know, summon for Yamcha again. I mean, that's the point, right? So if I had to really say, if you have a wealth of stones, if you have around 750 or more, literally 150 stones won't hurt, because we're gonna make that back, and we're gonna make that back easy and fast. Not only that, we're gonna get a lot more stones because Dokkan told us, right? We're gonna get a lot of stones coming our way. Around like 390 plus, they said, before the celebration, and they were just talking about the start of this month. Of course, when the celebration starts, we're gonna get even more stones for the celebration, the global celebration. So if I had to really put this on a scale, let's just go back to if I had to really rate this guy on a scale of 1 to 10 of if you should summon or if you need him or how valuable of a character he is, I definitely would say he's gonna be up there, because you're definitely gonna feel the weight of not having this character, right? You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. But honestly, if you have little to no stones, I would say just, you know, hopefully you grinded the tickets. That's the best case scenario. You grinded the tickets, you get them off the ticket summons. You don't even have to summon. But would I say he's worth the summon? I actually would say yes. Now, I know a lot of, you know, other YouTubers, they're only saying, oh, it's not worth the summon because they're summoning. You got to understand that. They're saying the characters are not worth the summon, not only because they're summoning, but because the mindset that they have, right? You know, a mindset of me being a free-to-play player is that I understand, you know, they don't give us a lot of stones, but at the same time they do. I guess a lot of those players' concerns, like the whales, is like you don't really summon on a banner unless the banner has real worth or real weight. And I mean, like, a lot of featured units who are going to be valuable. I don't really judge it based off that. I'm looking at the weight of the character. If you don't have this character, how much do you feel it? Right? There's certain character like Blue Kaioken Goku I don't have and I don't feel it. Right? Like the one who came out with Hit. I have Hit, but I don't have Goku, and I don't even care. Like, I don't even care that I have Goku, because there's so many, like, he's really irrelevant, right? Like, Goku is not a needed character. There's so many other good Goku options and other good teams and stuff like that, right? But Tien, Earthling Tien, dude, you gotta know they're gonna cheese it, bro. They're gonna cheese the missions, bro. I promise you. They're gonna cheese it. They're gonna continue dropping more Earthlings, right? That's just what I'm seeing. They dropped Yamcha, they dropped Tien, they dropped Mercenary Tao. They're gonna cheese this shit. Trust me. A lot of people are not gonna summon for this Tien, or not gonna be able to pull Tien, and you're gonna feel the weight of not having Tien. You're gonna trust me. You're gonna have PTSD and ADHD or OCD. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know which one I'm really thinking about. I think it's OCD. Yeah, OCD. When you have all your missions complete, but it's that one Earthlings mission you just can't do, right? Because you don't have this Tien. I promise you, if you don't have this Tien, you're not completing any Earthling. You're not doing it. I'm just gonna, let's look at, you know what? As a matter of fact, this is the last thing we'll do in this video. Let's go to the Earthlings category. Oh, you guys are in for a whole treat. Let's look. Now, this is the JP account, or the JP version. So, Yamcha's easy, Tien. You know what? Tao, General Blue, but everything underneath. Okay, Chi-Chi sort of fire. Mr. Satan's not bad. This is a decent free-to-play LR. Devilman could be interesting. Roshi, this EZA Videl is sort of interesting. You know what? But everything else is ass. Like, Bulma's not even good anymore. Like, you can't say, oh, yeah, LR, like, no, she's done for. We need, like, a new version of LR Bulma, to be honest. Who would be, like, a good stand-in for LR Bulma? I don't know. No, I think LR Bulma was just so unique. Who could we get that's, like, another Bulma-level intensive character that would be, like a... No, I wouldn't like that category. I would say, like, Whis or Vados, but they're gods, so it wouldn't really hold any weight. Maybe like a Caulifla or something like that, but we just gotta kill a Caulifla. And who cares, right? But all in all, I think I would say he's probably worth the summon. But if you're free to play, I'm gonna keep it a ban. It just depends on how much stones you've been saving, right? I think this guy, you're gonna feel it. You're really gonna feel the weight of not getting this guy. But don't worry about it though. I mean, it is the game of Dokkan. You're not gonna be able to get every unit. It's down to RNG and it's down to luck at the end of the day. So you could chuck 50 stones and get the unit. You could do literally the free ticket summons and get them. But I like this Tien, and I think heading into, you know, his release, I'm gonna be favorable to this unit. You guys let me know what you think about this. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I will be starting to do this more frequently when units are getting released, and I don't really know about the EZAs. I mean, it depends on how well received this video actually does. Like, if this is well received, I don't mind doing this for, like, EZA characters and, you know, and newer characters, right? Just new info and new kits before they actually release in game, just so we can get a good heads up, you know, when I get the unit and go into the showcases, where he's gonna look good, how good is he gonna be rating the character. I think this is a good video idea, right? But yeah, let me know. He should drop. I'm actually making this video on the 15th, but I'm gonna drop this on the 16th. So by the time you're seeing this video, he's gonna come out in a few hours. Like, he's gonna be out in a few hours. So I do love y'all. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you the next one.